What's up, Sushi Squad? We back in some more Trove. Excuse me, but this event is finally working properly now. So basically, if you guys didn't know, we ended up streaming the event yesterday, and normally I end up having that VOD show up a couple days after, right? But fun fact, we weren't actually able to complete the event on stream because there was a bug with the quest line, but that has been resolved. So we'll end up kind of explaining that in accordance, you know, as we end up going through this. But basically what we're going to be doing today is talking about the event itself, all the rewards, and then I'm going to try my best from memory to be able to show you guys all the other Bunfest items that we can end up crafting and getting from the event. But generally speaking, there's a lot of grinding involved, especially if you end up wanting the new costume, which I was not able to get before today. I'm sorry, I didn't have the time. What can I say? But anyways, let's get into it. So the first part of the quest line is to greet Cubesley in the Bunfest Pavilion. So as soon as you end up going into the hub, you take a left and you're gonna see this right over here. Your eggs won't be as big on console or even on PC. I have a mod that makes the eggs bigger on the geode surface because you can find eggs out on the surface, which we'll explain momentarily, and that's why they end up looking gigantic. But this little rabbit right here, that's going to end up being the Cubesley guy. So all you gotta do is interact with him. That'll complete that part of the quest line. You don't get anything. Next part is to complete daily quests, which is going to be related to uno, dos, tres, all of these three different rabbit idiots. They are going to end up having different objectives, which I will explain in detail. So find hidden eggs. Now the hidden eggs, as far as I know, are just in every world, but in geode surface in particular, that's where I keep going for most of them. And you can actually see a couple of them right there. So there's the giant rainbow one. That's because of the mod that I'm using. But here's what the eggs are normally going to end up looking like. So they're pretty small, and generally speaking might end up being pretty hard to see if you don't have a mod on PC anyways that changes the visuals of the geode surface, because looking at these rainbow ones on the pure bright bleeding red could end up being a bit of a problem. Now there's a couple things you get out of these hidden eggs. Not only do you end up getting Bunfest chocolate, but you also have a chance of getting a couple different mounts out of it as well. So let me actually just scroll down to the event tab right here so I can just show you guys very briefly. I'm going to end up going through all of these mounts and stuff like that a little bit later in the video, but I'm just letting you know that you can find 1, 2, 3, I don't have all of them, 4 different bouncing mounts. Make a donation, which is going to end up being at this Bunfest station right here. You're going to see donate chocolate. So you have to actually get 50 of the Bunfest chocolate in order to end up donating it. And then through your donations, there is a rare chance that you will be able to end up getting Bunfest tokens. This one right here in particular is just because I just completed the daily, which you can only end up doing once per day, obviously. But if you keep donating and keep donating more and more chocolate, that's how you'll end up getting additional tokens, which you'll need in order to craft a bunch of the error items. And then defeat egg dungeons, which is pretty self-explanatory. So these egg dungeons, similarly to the hidden eggs, I'm pretty sure are just in any Uber world, but generally speaking, you want to go to the highest Uber world possible because it means that the higher the Uber world, the more items you'll end up getting out of the dungeon chest. It's just kind of how the game works, right? Now, one thing that you'll note if you're at the end game and you're using bombs and stuff like that is there's actually indestructible blocks that you can't blast through unless you end up using a dragon. And it can be any type of dragon. It's just for some weird reason the cannonballs in particular deal more damage. So you can either do what I'm doing right here, where you blast your way through the deep chocolatey center in order to end up getting to the dungeon boss itself at the bottom, or the other option is you would just blast your way in through the top, just because the layer is going to end up being a little bit thinner, so you won't need as many cannonballs, whoopsie daisy, and then you would just take the purple portal if it would stop lagging, and then you would fight the boss that way. Defeating the dungeons will actually give you more chocolate than the hidden eggs that you'll end up finding in the world. But generally speaking, when you do find the hidden eggs and you end up getting additional mounts, like let's say you end up getting extras, right? You can loot collect those for additional chocolate. So it still pays to go out of your way to get the hidden eggs along with doing the dungeons themselves, especially because it's going to be involved with all of the crafting stuff. But anyways, Cubesley just wants you to end up completing all 3 of their quest lines, and then you'll get absolutely nothing out of it as usual. The next part of the quest is to craft a Spirit of Bunfest sugar. Good Lord, it's this thing right here, the weird flower, right? So this is going to end up being a food item. It's a consumable. Do not eat it, because unfortunately the biggest the biggest difficulty with this event, the biggest problem with it, is you need the Bunfest tokens to get a bulk of the content done, and that's where, you know, it's very, very time gated, because you can do the dailies to get Bunfest, or you gotta complete tons and tons of dungeons and so on and so forth in order to donate enough chocolate so that you can end up getting additional tokens. But anyways, you basically are gonna craft this item, which takes 1 token and a bunch of our items, and then that'll complete that part of the quest line. And then he wants you to craft the Delve Gateway. Yes, that's right, we have a delve related to this event. I know it sucks, but this is going to be it right here, which takes the flower. Easy enough. The Delve Gateway itself is going to end up having rabbit themed enemies and so on and so forth, but ultimately the quest line is then going to ask you to recover the Buntopia standard. So this was the part of the quest that was actually broken. I'm not sure if this part of the quest is still functioning as intended. So basically what happened with me is I went through the delves and it just didn't work. It didn't end up generating the banner. I don't know whether or not you have to actually go through the delves, because their solution that they have currently in the game is, I noticed that as soon as I just went back to the hub and interacted with Cubesley, it just completed that part of the event. So my point is that I don't know if you have to complete the delve, then talks to Cubesley, or frankly speaking, you might just talk to Cubesley and it might just void that part of the event. I don't know. You still want to end up doing the delve, because there is very, very rare items you can end up getting out of it. More particularly, if I end up hiding all my items, you'll notice that there's the Bunster Blaster. There's also an ally as well. Unfortunately, this thing is just so extremely rare that you can see it's fairly expensive fairly expensive for us on PC. I mean, I'll probably end up buying it anyway, but either way, it looks pretty darn cool. I guess I could buy it for today's video. But anyways, recover the Bunfest standard. Okay, done, cool, whatever. You get to fight some cool enemies and stuff. And then finally, last but not least, is the return the Buntopia standard to Cubesley in the hub. So you just interact with him once to get the standard, interact with him again to give him the standard. And then you finally get an item, which is 25 Pearls of Wisdom. Sorry, that kind of sucks. Like, it's like a dummy prize, right? Anyways, I don't know. That is pretty bad. Is a pretty bad event, frankly speaking. The items you can get out of the event are pretty cool, but they require a lot of grinding, dude. So I'm gonna kind of go through as many of these as I can with you guys, just so I can show you guys all of the different items. But the big item is going to end up being the Bunny Bounco costume for the Bard. Generally speaking, I would say that this refined chocolate, so if you are just non-stop grinding, doing your donations, getting as many tokens as possible, because you basically need to craft refined chocolate in order to end up crafting the costume, but it costs 100 refined chocolate, so you're looking at probably like 4 hours plus of just solid grinding for this event, which isn't too bad when you consider how long the event is going to end up being around. But my God. So the other thing too that I noticed is the costume is actually, it has a tradable variant, which is still quite expensive, and it looks like a terrible costume. From what I've heard, you guys told me on stream that the tradable version might be from the hidden eggs. It might be from the delves. I don't know. I cannot confirm. So if somebody can yell out in the comments and you guys could like up that comment, that would be perfect. But generally speaking, I'm just saying that there is a tradable variant of this costume out there somewhere. I don't know where. Okay, I don't know how to get it, but there is going to end up being the previous year items as well. So there's the legacy items, which is going to end up including Flopsy and blah, blah, blah. And then there's the Bunfest recipes, which is going to basically give you hideable egg recipes. Not really anything super duper special. which is kind of weird because you notice that for 2022, all of these are just hidden eggs, whereas with 2020, we actually had a mount and a helmet on top of the eggs, which you can see again is graphically broken because of the mod that I'm using. But anyways, let me try and set up and get all of these items available for you guys. Like I said, I'm missing a few of them, but I'll try my best to show you guys as much as I can. Oh, sweet. I actually got enough mastery to get the mastery cycle, so I'll make a separate video that shows that off. So don't say I didn't do anything for you guys, because I just spent like millions of flux to end up doing this, but hey, whatever. So anyways, this is going to end up being the Bard costume, which is way better than I thought it would be, dude. This is so stupid. Like, I didn't know he was gonna look like Bugs Bunny. That's actually so cool. I really, really like it, okay? He's buff Bugs Bunny and has really cursed looking legs. Good lord. So anyways, video effects doesn't really look like it's anything particularly special, which, you know, kind of is the standard. You don't really expect anything out of it. I do like the egg, though. That at least looks pretty cool. The explosions and stuff like that don't seem to be anything super duper unique. Neither do the songs. It's just kind of all the same old stuff. But either way, that's going to end up being the Bard costume that you can grind out of the event, or you can buy like I did. Okay, cool. And then there's going to end up being recently equipped, right? I put all of these in here. So there's going to be Hopsy. This is going to end up being one of the crafted items from previous years, which is adorable. Absolutely love it. It's just, it's beautiful, dude. It's a hopping, stupid bunny thing. It's actually got like unique animation and stuff, and it's just, there's something about it, dude. It's just really, really adorable, right? So there's also going to end up being Bunsley Ally, which is going to be this little guy right here, who I love him. It's basically just the Cubesley that's over there in the hub area, but he just looks like such an idiot. That's the big reason why I like him so much. He's going to end up giving you 15% or 15 health regen and 35% physical damage. That's it. And it's also certainly not just Cubesley in a costume. Then there's Flopsy, which is going to end up being a pink variant of the other one. This again is crafted at the table over there for the event. So this is from the previous event items. And I mean, again, looks absolutely adorable, especially in his little tuxedo. And then there's going to end up being a bunch of the new stuff. So the Bunfest bounty, as far as I know, this is just from the hidden eggs out in the world. I just randomly ended up getting this bad boy at one point. I don't remember where specifically, but either way, it's basically a turtle mount reskin. It has all the little eggies around us, which tells me again that it's probably just from the hidden eggs. It's, even though it animates like a turtle, it doesn't actually seem to have any swim stats or anything. That's why I was just checking really quickly. But either way, maybe you end up getting this from getting every type of egg, but I don't see how they would be able to track that. The only thing better than collecting them is showing them off. Yeah, okay, so it's literally tied to that. Then there's going to be the bouncing ones, which, like I said, I'm still missing one of these, so I'm sorry that I'm not going to be able to show that off to you guys, but generally speaking, they're just bouncy mounts. It's nothing super special. It's basically just the bottom half of an egg. I don't know. You know me, bouncing mounts are not my favorite. They never have been, but these actually do look pretty cool. They got really unique designs to them, and I think that they take after some of the dungeons, so they actually are very, very stylish. You know, again, not my favorite, but either way, they still are very unique and very cool, to say the least. So again, there is still one of them that I'm missing, and I'm sorry I can't show that off, but anyways, I will show off the big boy items that I'm sure you guys want to see. So there's the baby bun smasher, which, as far as I know, this guy is going to end up being from the Delve boss. As far as I know, I cannot confirm 100%. I know that the mount is, but I would assume this guy is as well, just because he's going to end up being a baby variant of the boss. He's actually got some decent stats, weirdly enough. 8% max health, 10 magic fine, minus 4% incoming damage, and a chance to reduce ability cooldown when a nearby enemy dies. Not bad. And he's also just kind of adorable and kind of intimidating at the same time. Like, look at him, he's kind of like he just, I don't know, there's something about him. I like him though. He looks kind of cool and stupid, and if I do dance, I mean, you can see he just thrusts into the air like he just don't care. Then there's going to end up being the mount. This I actually haven't seen yet, just because it was so expensive and wasn't actually obtainable in the player market the other day, but oh my good lord. Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's really, really cursed, but that's cool. It's like the strong, super, like, look at this Chad of bunnies here, dude. Bugs Bunny has tamed this majestic creature. Actually, I think the description says they're really nice once you get to know them. Oh, I thought it said something about taming them. Either way, I think that pretty much covers all of the items. There might be some other stuff that I'm just barely missing, but I don't know. I guess there is still the Shadow Bunfest helmet, but it's like, whatever, that's just a helmet. And then there's this banner, which I didn't even get, come to think of it. I guess who cares? Either way, I think that does it for everything, gamers. Like I said, I am still missing a few things, not many. If I check the events tab, I'm missing just the one bouncing Bunfest Egg Car Edition, which I'll be able to end up getting. It's just, yeah. Either way, very cool stuff. Cool event just because of the sheer amount of items you can get out of it, which is kind of neat. And then there's also going to be the Master Cycle, which, oh my god, that's actually really cool. Anyways, thanks for watching. Smash like, sub for more, buy the merch you want, support the channel, and have a wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen.